All right, hi everybody. This is again Rafael Cervantes with the Puncher's Chance MMA podcast. We have episode number 4, where we're going to be reviewing UFC Fight Night 174, which took place Saturday, July 25th. The main event being Robert Whittaker versus Darren Till. 15 fights on this card. Seemed like there was a little more than the usual, but some more decisions on this one. Still some pretty good fights. Still some pretty good prospects coming out of this fight card. Overall, it was a pretty good fight card, I would say. Wasn't too many stalemates or wasn't too many fights that didn't put on a good performance. So yeah, it was overall pretty good. First fights, we started with bantamweights. Nathaniel Wood versus John Castaneda. Both pretty young, mid-20s guys. Nathaniel Wood came in as a heavy favorite. He was a minus 460 favorite. So the prospect definitely came out as a heavy favorite, and it showed pretty quickly. Castaneda came out. There was good movement between the two. There was bantamweights, 135ers. You usually get good cardio and good movement because they're smaller guys. But right off the bat, Wood looks like he has the way better hands. First round was back and forth, but Wood definitely took it. Started landing well off the clinch. I gave that first round to Nathaniel. Round 2, pretty apparent that Wood is landing the better of the combinations. He's landing a really good inside leg kick. It's really nice. And he starts landing the right straight really clean. And Castaneda really has no answer for that. He's down two rounds after that second round, and round 3 he came out, but it was really the Nathaniel Wood show. He came out and displayed really good footwork in that third round. And just a really well-conditioned athlete. Put a really nice pace on Castaneda. Wood incorporated all his attacks. I mean, low kicks, body kicks, and just put it all together and pretty much doubled up Castaneda in as far as significant strikes. Landed 131 significant strikes, 266 for John Castaneda. So Wood got the unanimous nod. I think all judges had a 30-27. But yeah, overall it was a pretty good fight. I graded the fight a B. Both guys, it's just really high level MMA between the two. Both guys have fought for a while now. Nathaniel Wood came in with a 16-4 record, improved to 17-4. John Castaneda's record dropped to 17-5. So guys that have pretty good records, and and just really good techniques. And yeah, they came out and put on a pretty good fight for the first fight of the night. Second fight was against Ramazan Emeev and Nicolas Dolce. Goretz versus Green Mask. Emeev came in as a heavy favorite, minus 400 favorite. These guys fought at welterweight. First round, Stolcha came in pretty good with he had some really good leg kicks. Emeev came in and displayed good boxing and really good grappling. Usually these Dagestani guys come in with really good, really good wrestling. He was able to threaten. Emeev was able to threaten with the Dars, but really nothing there. Emeev just kind of relentless with the takedown. And Stolcha was able to land a good knee as the round ended. So it was a back and forth first round, but I would say that round could have been stolen by Stolcha with that big knee late in that first round. And round two, Emeev came out and was able to do a better job of using his punches. And Stolcha seemed like he was starting to slow down a little bit. Still throwing good kicks. Seemed like Emeev was more of boxing approach to his strikes, and Stolcha came out with a more kicking oriented attack. And yeah, Emeev was able to land some really good punches towards the end of that round. Probably stole him the round. Round three started off with Emeev landing a really good knee. And then it was actually Stolcha that took Emeev down. Emeev bounced back up, and then seemed like Stolcha was pretty tired at that point. Emeev landed. Emeev was able to take the back in the standing position, land some really good knees, and kind of just hold him up against the fence for the rest of the fight, landing good knees. But yeah, pretty even fight. Emeev got the nod. He got the unanimous decision. I graded the fight a C. Not a whole lot of fireworks in this one. Good technique by both guys, but nothing really that stood out that made you kind of jump out of your seat. But overall, pretty good fight. I'm going to see. The fight after that, we had Bech Correa versus Pani Khamzat. Good fight in this one. There was Bech came in plus 140 underdog, and Pani was a minus 160 favorite. Yeah, Pani Khamzat came out and looked like really like almost twice as fast as Bech. And as far as combinations early on, she came in and she was just cracking Bech left and right, in and out, and seemed like Bech was a little thrown off by that. She was kind of having a hard time timing her, so she was kind of looked a little slow out there. But Khamzat came out really, really good, landing a lot of good exchanges, and yeah, the only thing I remember about or one of the moments that stood out was Betch heard the 10-minute or 10-second clacker, and she thought it was the end of the round, and she went to shake Penny's hand and let her guard down, and Penny just started cracking her, and so it was just kind of a bonehead move by Betch. So she took a couple of shots late in the round for that. But yeah, it was all Khamzat that first round. Round two, pretty much more of the same. Khamzat stunned Betch pretty early in that first round with the 1-2. Khamzat is also doing a pretty good job of getting in a Muay Thai clinch and landing good strikes there. She did lose her footing at one point though, and Betch took top position. She was landing some good elbows on the floor. And Betch is pretty much, she's looking to counter strike at this point. She's not going to be catching up to Penny in these exchanges, so she's kind of just sitting back and letting Khamzat come to her. And she had a little bit of success. She was able to land some good shots, and Betch she's a tough girl. I mean, there's a reason why they call her the pit bull. She was like grunting in there with the the striking exchanges. But Khamzat was able to establish her jab in that second round. Really, really nice jab. Close round, could have gone either way. But Betch is she's a little behind on the strikes. Round three, Betch is her face is starting to swell up. Khamzat is just setting a really good pace on her. She's landing a lot of shots, and then just as the momentum is going into Khamzat's favor, Betch lands a monster left and hurts Khamzat's right eye, swells up pretty bad, and both girls at this point are just going forward, going for it. Khamzat is able to wobble Betch Correa a couple of times with a nice combo, and then Betch's left eye starts swelling up. But Khamzat is still bouncing around in and out, landing really good combinations up until the end of the round. But yeah, really, it was a pretty good fight. Nice fight. Nice fun fight to watch. I graded it a B, just out of toughness for these two girls. Two of the judges had it 30-27 for Khamzat, and then the other one had it 29-28. So it was unanimous for Khamzat. It was pretty apparent that she had won that fight. But yeah, overall, pretty good fight between the two. Girls definitely came out and brought it. Fight after that was with the heavyweights. Tanner Boser, the Bulldozer, is back again. Canadian, just fought in one of these previous Abu Dhabis. Came in as a minus 250 favorite against Rafael Pessoa, Bibisao, Big Baby, I think is the translation to that. came in as a plus 210 underdog. Big guy though, came in right at the weight, weighed in at 264. Tanner seems like he could fight at 205. Came in at 235. So Tanner definitely came in very hesitant, was very careful in not engaging Rafael right away. So that first round was very much a feeling out process. Boser is very, very active, very. He moves like very little other heavyweights out there. So it's constantly in and out. And yeah, like I said, Pessoa was way bigger of the fighter. And Dan Hardy actually made me crack up. He called Tanner Boser a rehabilitated Roy Nelson, which is hilarious. But yeah, both guys really filling each other out. Boser really keeping his distance and found some success with the low kicks. Pessoa just kind of had his right hand cocked back and was ready to counter, but Boser was in and out. Boser was able to land a big left hook in that first round, but yeah, not a very exciting first round. Like I said, Tanner was really looking to make some reads and really kind of feel out the distance between the two. Round two, Boser comes in early and again goes for leg kicks. Pessoa lands a couple of shots as Boser starting to look to exchange a little more, and it was kind of fun because the analysts Dan Hardy and Paul Felder are starting to make reads, and very much so like Tony Romo does in the NFL. He starts calling the plays before they happen, and he's like, yeah, he's shooting the right leg kick off the body jab, and sure enough, Boser would throw that attack, and so it was fun watching those two guys work together. I'm not sure if they had ever worked together, but definitely a good combination. And just as that is happening, Boser lands a glancing left hook that seems to hit Pessoa's right eye, and seems like he's really compromised and can't really see out of it, so he kind of falls back. Boser gets on top, pounds him out, and the referee steps in, stops it. And when we show the replay, it seemed like Boser might have landed a knuckle into the eye, and was stopped 2:36 of round two. So yeah, Boser again with another good performance. I graded the fight a C just because wasn't much action that first round, and wasn't really fighters really didn't exchange. But Tanner's gonna be a good. He's still pretty young. He's 28 years old. I think he's going to be a good heavyweight. He's going to be a problem for a lot of these guys. Just his ability to move and the toughness that he displays. I think is going to be a tough matchup for a lot of these guys. Moving on to the next fight, we had Movsar Evloev versus Mike Grundy. Movsar is a Russian fighter, perfect 12-0, came in with a 12-0 record. Came in as a minus 190 favorite. These guys fought at featherweight, big featherweight guys. The Mike Grundy fights out of England, came in as a 170 plus 170 underdog. Yeah, first round was good grappling early on, some back and forth. Grady took Evloev down. And then Evloev was able to reverse it. And then Grundy got pretty close to submitting him with the darts, but Evloev was able to kind of get his leg in and pry himself out of it, and then roll out of it, which was really nice. Evloev was then able to kind of get his boxing going, landed a big right that hurt Grundy's left side of his face. As the round was ending, so it was a close round. Could have gone either way. But yeah, it was Grundy who was getting the better of the grappling exchanges early on, and like I said, it was really close to getting the finish with that Darce. And then it was Evloev landing that really good right hand. So depending on how you rate those two, you could give the round round two. Evloev was looking to land his hands, and Grundy was looking a little desperate for the takedown. Grundy was able to take Evloev down, but Evloev was able to bounce back up. And then Evloev is really starting to get his hands going. He's able to start landing his jab. His jab is really starting to set up his combinations. And Evloev is clearly outlanding Grundy by a lot at this point. They showed the punching or the significant strikes stats, and it's Evloev with a huge advantage in that aspect. Round two clearly went to Evloev. Round three, Grundy's really starting to show the effects of Evloev's attacks. He's bleeding and his face is pretty swollen. And Evloev still looks pretty fresh out there. Grundy's still looking for the takedown, and Evloev is doing a better job of staying on his feet. But it's also Grundy's also looking like his takedowns are coming in from a lot further. He's getting a little desperate, so Evloev is able to land better combinations and ultimately win the fight. It was a unanimous decision. Significant strikes were in Evloev's favor, 79-20. So yeah, it was basically Grundy looking for a takedown. I think after that first round, he felt like he had a clear advantage on the floor. And Evloev really didn't want to go there with him. So it was a matter of Evloev trying to put some combinations together and Grundy looking for the takedowns. So Movsar Evloev improves 13-0. So another undefeated prospect coming out of Russia, fighting at featherweight. Big guy for that weight class. I'd like to see him fight again. So I gave the fight a B. B or C. Evloev looks good. Really well conditioned. and nice crisp boxing. His jab, once he got his jab going, really set up that right hand, and yeah, it's gonna be a fun guy to watch when maybe they match him up with another striker, another comparable striker. So that was that fight. Fight after that was big guys. Tom Aspinall versus Jake Collier. Tom came in as a heavy favorite, minus 330 favorite. Jake Collier came in as a plus 270 underdog. And I remember Jake, the name sounded familiar. They were saying that he'd fought at middleweight. So, the pictures that they showed of him and the little highlight reel that they showed of him, I was like, whoa, the guy got a lot bigger, and you could barely recognize the guy. So I wonder what the situation there was, but he'd been gone for a while. But yeah, Tom came out. Seems like a big athletic guy. 6'5", and was moving around really, really good. I mentioned that he had some pro boxing experience, and he was able to crack Jake a couple of times with some really nice crisp right hands, and it seems like they're starting to have an effect on Jake. He seems like he's getting hurt with these strikes. And then Tom lands a crushing knee to the body, and then a quick 1-2 left-right, and Jake just falls back, and Tom gets on top, lands I think one shot, and the referee stops it right away. So 45 seconds into the first round. Yeah, I rated this fight an A just because Tom Aspinall is going to be a guy that you're going to want to watch again, and is going to be tough for a lot of fighters, that heavyweight division, because he moves very, very well, and his hands are, and he's young, he's only 27, so he's going to be a problem for some guys. And has a pretty good record at 7-2. But yeah, those hands are very, very impressive. So it's gonna be interesting. I think they said that he has a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well. So it's gonna be exciting to watch this guy. Very promising first UFC fight for Tom. And that was that. Fight after that was at welterweight. Nicolas Dalby versus Jesse Ronson. Dalby out of Denmark with the 18-3-1 record and won no contests. Was a minus 280 favorite, so pretty heavy favorite in this. Jesse Ronson, they had mentioned that he'd fought in the UFC before and fought some tough opponents. He was a lightweight guy. I think he fought Kevin Lee as one of his fights, but basically the guy had 3 really tough fights at 155, lost all 3 via split decision. So Canadian fella, the body snatcher, came in as a plus 240 underdog. And yeah, both guys came out really aggressive. Dalby definitely looks like the welterweight. Ronson's pretty big, solid guy as well, but Dalby just looks a lot bigger than him. And yeah, Ronson was able to land a good body kick. Dalby just kind of applying a lot of pressure to Ronson. Dalby's just kind of moving forward and gets caught early with the short left, and Ronson pretty much gets on top of him, starting to pound him with some elbows, and is able to get the mount position. Dalby's still pretty shaken up. Gives up his back, and then Ronson sinks in the rear naked choke, and Dalby seems just stunned. He's laying on the floor, and he's just kind of out of it. But yeah, the fight was stopped 2 minutes 48 seconds of the first round, and yeah, Ronson's pumped. Goes in as a heavy underdog. I would plus 240 underdog. Pretty big underdog, I would say, and really puts it on Dalby, and gave the fight an A. Nice quick fight with a good finish. Both guys came out and really came out aggressive, so fun fight to watch. Fight after that, another good one. We had Francisco Trinaldo, Masaranduba versus Jai Herbert. Yeah, Francisco Trinaldo, guy that's been fighting the UFC forever, was a minus 120 favorite. Missed weight though, came in weighed in at 160, but it's like the first time he missed weight. So apparently had a really bad weight cut. I mean, the guy's 41 years old. Said he wants to fight at 170 now from now on, but I think he's 5'5". The guy's really short. But man, does this guy bring it. He's so tough every single time. And I mean, he's got a 25-7 record for a reason. But great. Great fighter. Came in, fought Jai Herbert out of England, the Black Country Banger, I think his name is. I'm not sure what that's about. But Jai came in a lot taller, 6'1", 77-inch reach, and it was definitely a huge advantage for him early on. Herbert has a really thin guy, very bouncy, really good movement out there, and yeah, he lands a couple of good strikes, but Trinaldo closes the distance and is kind of manhandling Herbert. Lands a few elbows from top position as Trinaldo was able to take him down. Jai gets back up and lands some great knees from the clinch. Really bust Trinaldo up. Close round. Back and forth. You could have given it to either guy. Round 2 started off pretty quickly. Herbert came out and lined up beautiful right hand, dropped Trinaldo. Herbert follows him down and takes Trinaldo's back and starts threatening with rear naked chokes. Lands some pretty good ground and pound as well. Trinaldo's eventually able to shake Herbert off, and both guys get up and exchange strikes. Trinaldo started to look a little tired. I think he's still kind of affected by the right hand that he took. Yeah, Jai was able to land a couple of strikes again, and it cracked and buckled Trinaldo again. I mean, you got to give it up to Trinaldo. He stayed in the fight, and then Jai was able to get that tie clinch again and land some pretty good knees again. Definitely Herbert's round with the knockdown and the control on the floor, the submission attempts. Really, really good job by Herbert. Tough guy going up against Trinaldo. Round 3, Trinaldo came out and it seems to have recovered, came out and was firing really good kicks. Kicks to the legs, kicks to the body. Jai is still moving really well. Kind of in and out movement, but just as the rounds getting going, Trinaldo lands a vicious left to kind of like the top of Herbert's head, and there's like a kind of a delay, like his eyes rolled back and he just falls straight back and his head just bounces off the canvas and he's out. And Herb Dean moves in and Trinaldo runs up to him and he's like hesitant to hit him, kind of waits a little bit, like, come on Herb, stop this. And at this point the announcers are like, stop the fight. And Trinaldo's reluctant, but he lands a couple more shots on Jai, and eventually Herb steps in and stops the fight. But yeah, a lot of controversy behind that. The commentators really let Herb know, especially Dan Hardy. But it was pretty clear that Jai was out. Yeah, really, really good fight. Nice back and forth. Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they call him Masaranduba. I think it means like a tree, like a very strong tree in Brazil or something like that. So Francisco Trinaldo wants to move up to 170 and buy his mama a house, he said. But yeah, they stopped the fight at 130 of round number 3. Definitely give the fight an A+. Really, really good fight. Jai will be back. Took a tough loss, but I liked his movement out there, and fight could have gone either way. Definitely up, I would say, on the scorecard at that point. The third one was looking like Trinaldo was caught a second win, was doing good, but who knows? I'm sure we'll see Jai again. He's still got a pretty good record. Fight after that, we had Khamzat, Chimaev. Oh man, we had Board come back again. I think they call him Khabib, and came back 10 days after his last fight or something crazy like that. Fought at welterweight this time. Fighter out of Sweden, this guy, he's going to be a beast at welterweight. This guy's going to be really tough to beat. I mean, I don't know. I haven't seen much of his striking, but the way he's taking these guys down and brutalizing them, it's tough to watch. Came in as a minus 1,200 favorite versus Rhys McKee Skeletor, fighting out of Ireland with 10-2 record, plus 750 underdog. But yeah, it was a lot like his fight 10 days before Saturday. It was Khamzat came in, closed the distance, wraps McKee up. He locks his hands around his waist, picks him up, walks around the cage with him in midair and eventually decides to take him down. Does a really good job of controlling your wrist. Khamzat does. And is able to just eventually just maneuver his body into a dominant position. Takes McKee's back and slash mount and is just blasting him with punches and elbows. And there's nothing McKee can do. He's just stuck under this beast, this Borg. And referee comes in and stops it. 3 minutes and 9 seconds in the first round. So, and they're interviewing him, Khamzat, and he's like, yeah, just give me an hour, I can fight again tonight. Just an absolute beast. He says, I'm gonna smash everybody. How many guys do you have? I'll smash them all, line them up. So this guy's going to be a problem. This guy's going to be a fighter to definitely keep your eye on. But again, give the guy another A performance. He's going to be a very popular fighter. I can see him be like a Khabib type. I mean, it seems like he's kind of taking his shtick, but still like 26 years old, good frame for that division. He's gonna be a problem for a lot of guys. And fight after that, we had Alex Oliveira, Brazilian Cowboy versus Peter Sobotta. Alex came in as a minus 150 favorite. Always a fun fighter to watch. It's always really good, good and technical. Comes in, and just really goes for it. And this fight was no different. One thing that stood out was Oliveira's front kicks to the body. He kept shooting him up the middle and blasting Peter with them. And yeah, that first round, he must have cracked them with 3 or 4 right to the solar plex. And Sobotta's just fighting with the red belly at that point. Sobotta also, he put his hands down to block one of those kicks, and you could tell it really hurt one of his, I think it was his right arm. Kind of just dangling after that, and he didn't throw it much, but was taking these really brutal kicks from Oliveira. Wasn't able to really get much going. Sobotta actually took one of those front kicks to the body and kind of hunched over. You could tell it really, really hurt him. Round 2, Sobotta kind of goes for a takedown. Oliveira holds him off and lands some big elbows, cuts Sobotta. And Oliveira pretty much seems like he's looking to counter. He's just kind of waiting for Sobotta for the attacks. But not much coming from Sobotta. It was kind of the Oliveira show in this one. Oliveira was able to land a good right as he caught one of Sobotta's kicks and dropped Sobotta late in that round. So it's definitely Oliveira 2 rounds to none after that. Round 3, Sobotta pretty much needs to stop. Oliveira is still throwing brutal kicks. Kicks to Sobotta's body. Just very impressed by Cowboy's performance. He was really careful not to get too crazy. Sometimes he can get into these fights where he just brawls it out. He can get caught. I've seen him lose like that in the past, but you know, he could tell he had a big advantage against Sobotta, and was able to keep him at bay with kicks and brutal body kicks. And sure enough, all judges had it 30-27 for Cowboy. I would give the fight a B, just because it was fun to watch Cowboy strikes out there. And Sobotta got to give Sobotta credit for moving forward and going for it, but it was really fun to watch Cowboy out there. The nice body kicks, front kicks to the body. Fight after that was Paul Craig versus Gadzhimurad Antigulov at light heavyweight. Pretty quick fight. Paul Craig came in as a minus 145 favorite out of Scotland, fighting the Russian. Paul definitely the taller of the fighters, coming in at 6'3.5", while Antigulov was 5'11". Craig came out early, landed a good right to Antigulov, and Antigulov goes for a takedown, kind of drags Craig down. Craig is able to get his feet on Antigulov's hips, and then he's able to throw his legs up and is eventually able to sink in a triangle. Antigulov, you could tell his corner was a little upset. I think he should have fought the triangle a little more, like maybe try to pull himself out of there, because he kind of like got himself deeper into the triangle. He tried to punch himself. I don't know if he was trying to punch himself out of it or he just wasn't threatened by it, but Craig was able to kind of angle himself to where, I mean, his back was up against the fence, and he was able to kind of cut an angle where he really was able to land, sink in that triangle, really nice angle, and Antigulov taps. 2 minutes and 6 seconds, round 1. I gave it an A just because it was slick jiu-jitsu by Paul Craig, and I think he's got a grip of submissions, triangle chokes off his back. So fun to watch. And like I said, right after the fight, Antigulov's corners, they're like, what? They're like just yelling at him. They're like, why would you do that? I mean, I didn't hear exactly what they said, and they were speaking Russian, I'm sure, but visibly upset at Antigulov. But yeah, that's Paul Craig's game, his submission game off his back for sure. Then the fight after that was Carla Esparza Cookie Monster versus Marina Rodriguez in strawweight. Number 7 versus number 9. Esparza came in as a underdog, plus 165 underdog. And yeah, it was pretty apparent what she wanted to do. She wanted to take Rodriguez down early. And she did. She took Rodriguez down early. Early in the first round. Esparza was able to land some good punches from the top. Was able to really control Rodriguez. But Rodriguez, she didn't just lay on her back. She started cracking elbows off of her back and really hurt Esparza. Cut her up and really swelled up her eye. And then, late in the first round, Esparza goes for like a leg lock, and Rodriguez kind of cracked Esparza. So again, did some more damage to that eye. And then round 2, pretty much the same thing. Esparza is she's actually able to catch a kick and is able to take Rodriguez down. And then Esparza is dominating. She's landing more strikes from that top position, and Rodriguez really isn't able to get her off. And then Esparza again, she goes for a leg lock again, and then Rodriguez turns around and just unloads on her. She clobbers her. She's hitting her with some hammer fists right on her, I think it was her left eye, on her damaged left eye. So yeah, I'm not sure what Esparza was thinking. I don't know. She felt like I think there were ankle locks. But yeah, late in the rounds, she's going for these, and she's kind of getting cracked after dominating the rounds. Like, I think her corner, they mentioned that her corner was kind of yelling at her for that. Round 3, Esparza's going for takedowns. She's kind of shooting in from a little far, so Rodriguez is doing a pretty good job of landing some good shots in the process. But eventually Esparza is able to grab her and take her down. Rodriguez had a really hard time in this fight against Esparza's wrestling. But yeah, she's eventually able to get the takedown and pretty much dominates the control in that one. But it was a tough fight because it seemed like although Esparza was controlling, Rodriguez was doing the more of the damage. And I think the referees or the judges, I should say, kind of agreed because it was a split decision. One judge had it for Rodriguez, and then 2 of the other judges had it for Esparza. So Esparza won a split decision. Yeah, but I gave this fight a C. Not the most exciting fight. A lot of grappling, and like I said in one of the previous fights, nothing that made you jump out of your chair and get you excited, but good display. Rodriguez had her moments with her stand-up. She was able to land some good shots in round 3. good prospect. Well, it was only her first loss, so she'll be back. And Carla, I'm sure will learn from this. Her wrestling is a problem for a lot of girls in that division. So that fight was that. Fight after that, we had Fabricio Werdum versus Alexander Gustafsson. Cavallo versus the Mauler. Another quick fight, and this was Alexander Gustafsson's first time at heavyweight, or at least in the UFC. I don't know if he's fought anywhere else as heavyweight, but yeah, Gustafsson came in as a minus 350 favorite. Yeah, round one started, and really good leg kick by Werdum. And then Werdum was the one that initiated a takedown, shot for a takedown. Gustafsson was able to land, to defend the takedown, and he was able to land some really nice hammer fists while Werdum was going for a takedown. And then Gustafsson kind of turned his back to scramble out of that precarious position, and Werdum took his back. And yeah, it was tough because you have Fabricio Werdum early in the fight on your back, and was able to pretty much sink in an armbar, went belly down, turned him over, landed a couple of hammer fists, and was able to pry the arm out, and Gustafsson tapped at 2:30 of the first round. So Gustafsson was able to, or I'm sorry, Werdum was able to get the submission. I mean, this guy is like one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners that's ever graced mixed martial arts. So tough go for Gustafsson. If he was able to keep it on the feet, he probably would have dominated. And props to Werdum for shooting for that takedown, early on, and getting the submission. Slick stuff by Werdum. And fight after that, well, I give that fight an A. Two legends going at it, and you're seeing Werdum, like I said, one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners out there. So solid A for that one. Fight after that, it's a co-main event. We have Mauricio Shogun Hua came in as a minus 200 favorite against Antonio Rogerio Minitoro Nogueira, plus 175 underdog. Third meeting between the two guys. Going back to the Pride days, these guys, two legends in mixed martial arts. Round one, Hua came out early with his inside leg kicks, just cracking Nogueira's legs, just echoing throughout the building. Good knees by Shogun in the clinch. Nogueira was able to land a couple strikes here and there, landed a nice left straight. And then Hua was able to land some of his own. Both guys started trading towards the end of that first round. Both guys just rocking each other. Just going for it. I mean, and just fun to watch. Just two fighters just kind of slugging it out, and then Shogun lands a takedown late. Already a really good fight. Love these guys. Love watching these guys. Really. In their, Shogun's 38 and Nogueira's 44, and these guys are still putting on these performances. Just respect. Round 2. Nogueira's getting his boxing. He's starting to land his left straights, and he's starting to land, and it's starting to affect Shogun. You start seeing some swelling in Shogun's face. And then he's able to take, it's kind of like a tackle almost, like takes Shogun down. And is able to control him for a little bit, land some decent ground and pound. The fighters are Shogun eventually gets out of it, and is landing some really good leg kicks. Shogun's always had really good kicking game. Slips and rips at one point, lands a really nice right hand on Nogueira. Yeah, but like I said, Hua's face started to look a little beat up. But again, both fighters put in on a really good performance. I had Shogun up 2-0 at that point. Round 3. Again, Shogun throwing these brutal inside leg kicks. They're just cracking. He throws them with such ill intent. But both guys are still still pretty good shape. Both guys moving pretty well. Nogueira is landing some good punches, but I don't really see a sense of urgency. Apparently, it was his last fight, so I would have liked for him to have kind of gone for it a little more. But I don't take anything away from these guys. Both these guys did really, really good. Shogun lands some really good power shots. He threw it a couple times where he kind of like faked the body kick and then went up top with the right hand. So he landed those a couple of times, kind of rocked Nogueira a little bit. And Shogun eventually was able to take Nogueira down late in the round and land some good ground and pound. But yeah, I had Shogun winning that third round as well. It was close, so the second round could have gone either way. But props to both guys. It was a fun fight to watch. I've always been a huge Shogun fan, and then always been a fan of the Nogueira brothers. So the trilogy ended with Shogun winning a split decision. He had two of the judges judge it 29-28, and then one of the other judges had it 29-28 for Nogueira. Tough loss for Nogueira. You could see it. He was really upset by the fact that the fight didn't go his way, his last fight, but it was a close fight, really good fight, significant strikes. I think Shogun won 54-46, but yeah, really, really close fight. That was the co-main event. The main event, super excited for this one. I was once I heard this was happening, I was curious to see how Robert Whittaker would bounce back from his defeat against Israel Adesanya, and how Darren Till would match up with Forrest Whittaker, or with Robert Whittaker, not Forrest Whittaker. But yeah, the Reaper came in as a -145 favorite. Darren Till was +125 underdog. But I mean, two strikers at the top of their game. Pretty much in their athletic prime, I would say. Robert Whittaker is only 29, Darren Till's 27. Both guys matched up really well. Both guys 6 feet tall. Darren had a little bit of a reach advantage, and you could tell it seemed like Whittaker had to blitz a little more than Till to kind of get on the inside. I don't know if it seems like Till's strikes are a little more straighter, a little more right down the middle, rather than Whittaker's looping punches. But round one started with Till being very aggressive and just kind of running into Whittaker's jabs, and made Till kind of slow down a bit, kind of be a little hesitant, and was able to slow down a little bit more and kind of wait for Whittaker, and sure enough, shortly after that, Whittaker rushes in and Till lands a monster elbow and drops Whittaker. He gets up. It seems like he's a little shaky, but he's able to recover pretty well. Till lands a good left. He's pressing the Whittaker. And he's throwing a lot of feints, getting a lot of reactions off of Whittaker. Robert starts throwing out the outside leg kick, which he threw throughout the fight, and then he was able to kind of get his jab going that first round. Good first round. Just two high-level guys trying to get each other's timing down. But I definitely gave it to Till because he was able to knock Whittaker down with that shot. I mean, it was brutal. Once they showed it on the instant replay, it was a really nice strike by Till. Round two, Robert stomps on Till's leg via how he did against Romero, and then Whittaker's able to land a nice left hook counter, and then Whittaker drops Till with a right hand, big right hand, and Robert follows him down and is able to kind of hold Till down. You could tell Robert had a big advantage on the floor, and he controlled him for quite a bit and landed some really, really good elbows and good punches from that top position. And it's starting to show. Till's face starts swelling up. He's eventually able to get back up to his feet, and Whittaker's able to land a couple more of those outside leg kicks. But overall, big round for Robert Whittaker. Definitely one round apiece. Round three, since each guy kind of knocked each other down, I feel like was both guys just being a little tentative. So many feints, a very, very tense fight. Both guys displayed amazing defense. And when you have so much riding on these fights, it's so important that you're setting things up, that you're not giving the other guy any reads. So that was round three. It was, like I said, both guys trying to find their in, and very little strikes landed in this round. noticed Whittaker landing maybe a few more strikes than Till. I while I was watching it, I gave it to Robert, but again, really close, really close round. Could have gone either way. Round 4, Till started off with a good left, and Whittaker still landing that leg kick. And then Till's able to get his left hand going. He lands some really big shots. It felt like Whittaker might have been stunned a couple of times, but takes the punches really well. It's a really fun fight to watch. Two elite strikers really go at it. Whittaker is able to land a nice sneaky uppercut, I remember. But yeah, this run was Till landing that left. That was the strike for Till. Really set him up with it a couple of times. And yeah, I definitely gave Till that round 4. I pretty much had it even 2-2 going into that 5th round. Early in that 5th round, Whittaker landed a huge right hand. It was right at the start of that round. Till lands a couple of lefts. Whittaker's landing some good leg kicks. Some more good lefts by Darren. Whittaker lands some more leg kicks. Yeah, nice little back and forth between the two. Till lands a nasty elbow to Whittaker's side of his head and cuts him pretty bad. It's got blood flowing all over the place. And Whittaker is able to close the distance, kind of slams Darren Till down a couple of times. But yeah, these guys are wrestling and blood pretty quick. So yeah, and I didn't see the scorecard, so I don't know how the judges scored those rounds, but I think that last round, pretty much those last couple of takedowns by Whittaker, I think solidified the round for him, and he was able to win a unanimous decision. Definitely gave the fight an A. It was a fun fight to watch. Yeah, but all 3 judges had it 48-47 for Robert Whittaker. But yeah, just high level striking between the two guys, and it's going to be interesting to see what's next for Robert Whittaker, because he lost so decisively in that title fight against Izzy. So I'm not sure they're going to want to do that right away. That is if Izzy's able to get past Costa. But yeah, overall good fight card. Nice main event. That was a lot of fun to watch, and then it was great watching 2 legends like Nogueira and Shogun go at it. And Werdum and Gustafsson too. It's funny. It was a fun fight to watch with those 2 guys as well. I'm trying to think of other highlights in it. I mean, Tom Aspinall is going to be another fun guy to keep your eye on. So he was definitely a highlight of this fight card. Then we had Khamzat, Chimaev come back. He's going to be I I think he's going to be a superstar. I think his ability to not take damage in these fights is going to be really good for him. And I think they're already trying to get him on another fight card, which is crazy. But yeah, that was UFC Fight Night. So again, another good event for the UFC. I think they're going back to Las Vegas, but yeah, Fight Night 174, Whittaker versus Till. Really good stuff, and it's gonna be fun to see where they go from here. But I'm excited for all these new prospects that have come out of all these events in Abu Dhabi. So that's it for Puncher's Chance MMA podcast, episode number 4. Thank you so much for listening. Have a blessed day, and tell your friends about the podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Thank you so very much for your support, and much love.